Welcome in to Kelly's Practical Picks for Week 1 of the 2023 NFL season.
Yay!
How excited are you? All right, now, Kelly, just for people who may not be familiar, how many years, how did this start? How did you begin? Because you've got a very unique way of picking these games. We picked the entire slate of the upcoming week's NFL season. Kelly has a unique system. Explain the system.
I think it was you, me, and Eric and Sybil.
Who is Yumi? Your Korean friend?
Yeah, Yumi.
Oh!
Yumi, also known as Pugs.
Okay.
In different languages. Yeah, we were just hanging out talking about who could beat who. And we did it off air. And then we moved it on air and decided it would be fun to do it that way.
So what you do that is so interesting is you don't use information. You don't have any insight. You're not like Shefty. You're not like Glazer. You're not reporting the latest breaking news from camp, who's limping, who's what. No.
That's true.
You take a look at the two mascots involved, and you just ask yourself one simple question. Who could defeat the other in Mortal Kombat?
Exactly.
And you've been
Mortal Kombat.
Well, now what? Who kill who? Right? That's pretty much.
I guess it is.
You've been doing this with me for at least 20 years, although we took about a 15-year break. But you know what I mean. Sounds good.
It was a break. We were on a break.
Sounds good. She has defeated in season head-to-heads former professional football players, the likes of Tony Casillas, Greg Hill. Isn't that how you say Tony Casillas' name?
Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure. That's how we do it in South Texas anyway.
She has routinely defeated the voice of the Dallas Cowboys, Brad Sham, in head-to-head picking competitions using this system.
Right. Yep.
The late great. Go ahead.
Don't forget, this is also stolen by a comedian and done on the NFL Network.
Who?
Frank Caliendo, remember?
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah.
He copped to it with it. He
did
did it
he?
on Sunday. People called in. We got him on the phone, and I expected him to just blow it off, and so did you. And he's like, yeah, well, it was really funny when we were doing it down there because he had been in.
So he admitted it?
Yes, he admitted it.
That.
Yeah, I do.
Remember that. All right.
I was surprised.
Well, whatever. He didn't make a whole lot of money off that. It's not like, so we can't even sue him as the originators of this concept. All right, let's not delay. We've got a lot of games to pick here. Again, Kelly is just going to pick the entire slate of games based on nothing more than who she believes would win in a bout of Mortal Kombat between the two mascots. We're going to go with the first game. First game is, this is the first overall game of the season.
Okay.
Let's go with the Detroit Football Lions at the Kansas City Super Bowl champion Chiefs.
Oh, you shouldn't have told me they were Super Bowl champions. That's too much information for me. But, it doesn't mean that they're any good.
And by the way, this is an Indian chief. This is an Indian. I don't know if he's risen through the ranks of warriordom to gain this, title.
They haven't been asked to change their name?
Yeah, right? Why not?
I don't know.
Seems like a natural.
Yeah, it does. I would say if it's hand-to-hand or paw-to-paw, paw-to-hand.
This is a lion in a room with an Indian chief.
Yeah. I've seen lions hug people before on YouTube, but I don't think that generally happens overall. I think the people generally lose in that fight.
Okay.
Yep.
So you are going with the lion over the chief.
You have to. It's king of the jungle.
Yeah.
Wherever it is, it's jungle.
There's no. Oh, a lion isn't the chief. So it is a lion in the chief's kingdom, which is like North America, which is weird because lions don't exist there. But that lion would be mad. All right, let's go. Game number 2. The Cincinnati Bengals. Bengal Tigers. These are Tigers. This is not a girl group from the 80s. These are Tigers.
There's no Susanna Hoffs. Is that her?
Versus the Cleveland Color Brown.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's an unfair match.
A hard one.
The Color Brown.
It's
No.
either Color Brown or it's an old man's last name. It's either Paul Brown's last name or it's just the Color Brown. Their mascot is a little elf, though. It's a little pixie elf.
Aw, that's cute. Well, that doesn't seem like it would stand up again. Does it have magical powers?
Yeah.
It does?
I don't
What
know.
else?
No, they're not leprechauns. Do elves have powers? Elves make shoes. Elves
Oh,
make toys.
yes.
Elves don't have magical powers. Those are
Yeah,
leprechauns.
yes.
Trolls.
I would say to go with the one that's not the brown. The tiger. The tiger.
Okay. Again, a tiger would tear up just a big. I just imagine a big piece of brown cloth. And a tiger just. All right, there you go. Game 3. Let's go. Here we go. Kelly's practical picks. Well, it's a tough one for us because we are, here in the great state of Texas. The Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Now it needs to be mentioned that these Ravens are Edgar Allan Poe Baltimore Ravens. These Ravens drive you crazy. Nevermore. The Ravens.
Who is the home team?
Ravens. They're in Edgar Allan Poe's backyard.
That's important because I'm assuming that the Texans have a gun because that's the way they roll.
Well,
but I don't know if it could travel out of state with it.
Here's the question. Here's a question for you. I don't want you to ponder this. How easy do you think a Texan would be if you had a crazy bird with magic powers trying to get in their head?
Okay.
Yeah. That's, it's just a Texan. We know plenty of them.
Yeah. I'm surrounded by them at the moment.
I mean, come on. This is a bird. We know what the bird did. We all read the book. We know the bird's scary.
Yeah. I'm going with the Raven.
There she goes.
I don't need anybody else in my head. Oh, God.
All right. The next game, let's go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Have we ever established, does the Buccaneer have a knife in its mouth?
Well, okay. So that's the old creamsicle uniform Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he was like a very flousy pirate. Yeah. He was like Paul Lynn the pirate. And he did. He had a knife in his mouth. I'm dangerous. It was like very.
Why was it in his mouth?
I don't know. Because they're climbing ropes. Because they're pirates. Got to have your hands free.
I didn't know pirates were good at rope climb. I didn't know that.
That's all they do.
Oh, okay.
Those ropes off the boats. You see how they climb on boats? They jump on rope nets and climb up them, and that's why they got the knife. I don't know. Okay. Who do you like here? Buccaneers or this is crazy because these are both seafaring warriors. These are Vikings from like the 10th century versus Buccaneers from like the 1790s.
Yeah. All right. Are they playing on the boat? Are they playing at Buccaneers?
They're playing at Vikings. Look, both home. They're both comfortable in the water. Buccaneers and Vikings. Buccaneers are pirates. Vikings are Vikings.
I have to go with the Vikings. And originally I was going to go with the fact that I don't know how they got the boat up there, but it's the land of 1,000 lakes.
Well, isn't that a beautiful thing how her brain works? How did they put the boat up there is what she's stuck on.
Well, yeah. Okay. And the Vikings, I think that they're good fighters, especially at home.
So I think that's what I would do because Vikings are just primal and just monstrous. And, they went berserk. They took all kinds of drugs like hallucinogens and ate mushrooms and then went into battle and went crazy. Pirates were all dudes, English dandies running away from child support and stuff. That's what pirates were. Let's be honest. They weren't Vikings. All right. Panthers. The Panthers. Carolina Panthers. Didn't even know what they were. That's how insignificant they are to me. The Carolina Panthers are taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Bird versus cat, the classic matchup.
I've seen dogs catch seagulls on the beach. And while it's not a seagull, it's still a bird. So I'm going to go with it. I think, what do Panthers do? Do they just run? Like, what's their point?
Let's stop on your watching dogs catch seagulls on the beach. You've seen that.
Yes.
Have you seen more of that or more dogs missing catching seagulls?
Oh, missing.
Right. Yeah. So the advantage seagull. And you seem to be giving advantage dog because you once saw one catch one.
Well, okay. My dog, Kenzie. Yes. Kenzie's a trainer. Kinsey used to catch them on the beach. My dog, Mowgli, tries to catch them in the backyard, and they're not even in the yard. He's He's a sweet dog. He's a lot of other things going for him.
Okay. He's
So
working through it, folks. She'll get there.
I still got to go with the panther. Because they seem smart, right?
They're cats. You can't trust a cat.
No, you can't.
Yeah, this is a falcon, man. This is a predator bird. This ain't a Tweety. And even in the case of Tweety, I think Tweety got the best of Sylvester most of the time.
That is true.
In the classic cat versus bird scenario, the bird almost always comes out the victor.
Yeah. All right, maybe we'll go with the Falcons.
All right, there we go.
I'm down on the Falcons though, because the Croy Bierman dude enters my reality TV thing, and he was a Falcon, and he's a jerk.
I'm down on the Panthers because I'm a Chicago Bear fan, and we have the Panthers pick next year, so I need the Panthers to lose every single game this year.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's what I'm hoping for. Mm-hmm. All right, the next game, here we go. Moving along this week, week 1 of the NFL 2023 season. Kelly's Practical Picks. I'm Pugs Moran. She's Kelly Moore. Cardinals at Commanders. Kelly, look at this. We've never gotten an opportunity to discuss the Commanders before.
Washington ones, right?
Right, but we hadn't done this in a few years.
Oh.
They're newly named the Commanders. Mm-hmm. So, Arizona Cardinal versus a commander. What do you think a commander is? I'm not even sure.
I don't know. It seems like it could order the bird to not fly. I
because you think that's something humans can do?
What is a cardinal gonna do though? Why did they pick that as a mascot?
State bird of Illinois. They originally were the Chicago Cardinals.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense then. I should have known that too. Well, why'd Chicago pick them? Like, it just begs the question.
Yeah, well, they didn't anticipate you doing this bit in 100 years. Let's start there.
Okay, that is true. I still got to go with Commanders. I imagine them as like the chief pirates in my head.
Yeah, I don't know what a commander is. I guess I'm just thinking a military guy, like an old guy who's in charge. And it's a cardinal. At some point, he's gonna probably. All right, here's the next one. Jacksonville Jaguars versus your Indianapolis Colts. Jaguars versus Colts. 2 exciting young quarterbacks matching up in this one. Trevor Lawrence versus the Florida kid whose name escapes me.
Who's home?
Colts at Colts. Jaguars at Colts.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I think I have to go with the Colts because they're home.
In a corral.
Yeah. Oh, no, I thought of them as more running around. An arena is what I imagined. A horse arena.
Pinned in with a jaguar. You're making it worse for them.
How long do they run, though? Is that one of the species that like runs really fast for like 30 yards and then needs a break?
No, I think jaguars are like cheetahs. I think they're like super fast animals. Colts is just a baby horse. This is like a zoo tiger animal versus a baby horse. What is wrong with you?
But isn't even a baby horse, isn't it bigger?
No, baby, it's a colt. It's just born, man. It's still dripping with the sticky stuff.
How old is the colt?
I don't. It's a colt, the baby colt, but the jaguar we are giving nothing to think it's not a fully matured jaguar. So this is a fully matured jaguar versus a baby. They went out of their way to tell us it's a baby horse. I
feel like it could outrun them. I don't know why I think that.
God. All right.
Because that's just what I picture.
He's taking the Colts. That's your upset pick of the week there for Kelly. The Colts.
Oh, no.
Indy over the Jaguars.
Oh, see, that's how far out of football I am.
How about this one? The 49ers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. San Francisco 49ers at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
How ironic that the Steelers, named after the people who work with steels and the people who mine for gold, another metal, have to go to the steel, the steel whatever. Ooh. What is it? The steel mill.
This is a buffet of metallurgy.
Yeah. No, that can't be the 49ers. They're old. They had to walk there or take a horse and a covered carriage.
So why do you say they're old?
Because that's how I imagine them. Right? I don't know.
Me too. The old guy panning for gold. Ooh, there's gold up in there. Yeah, like the guy's on both legs. Okay, that's who I picture too. Steelers are union steel workers.
Yeah, they're tough.
Their name. Yeah. So
a lot of strikes happening about a bunch of other things, not about steel, but anyone in a union, I think, is tough.
that old guy that we're picturing who's panning for gold, he seems like a pussy.
Yeah.
He would get stomped.
Yes. That's why, you got to go with the Steelers. You just can't underestimate them.
There you go. Steelers over the Niners. All right. How about your Tennessee Titans versus the New Orleans Saints? Titans at Saints. Kelly?
Oh, no.
I know. Because it's a giant versus someone with, God's friend. It's a giant versus someone who got the ear of God.
Yeah, but I see now.
Does God get involved? How good a friend is God? I think.
Oh, no. God's too busy. Honestly, God should not be focusing on these football teams. I mean, I appreciate that everybody's saying thank you to Jesus when they do something, as though Jesus hates everybody else in the field but them.
Yeah, losers.
I know. So, yeah. No, I got to go with the Titan, and maybe it's because The Little Mermaid was out not too long ago, and so I'm thinking King Triton, and he seemed very powerful.
Triton?
Yeah, King Triton.
He's
Little
not
Mermaid.
There's totally different things. Titans
Seems like it's a Titan. He wasn't a merman.
What do you think a Titan is? This something needs to be established. What do you think a Titan is?
Do you mean of industry, or do you mean?
No, I mean, what is in myths? What is the mythological Titan? What is a Titan?
I imagine it comes like out of the ground or the sea in like a big flourish, and he like just appears.
All right,
and then can like
he, so it's a person.
Yes, and has like magical powers that can like throw like
so he's like a wizard. Bolts. He's a Titan is like a Titan's just a giant. It's just a fancy European word for a giant.
But it can throw wizards and stuff. Wizards. I mean, it can throw lightning bolts.
All right. Can it?
A wizard.
I think you're conflating like Zeus.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but that's not what a Titan. That's
what my Titan is.
No. All right. Who you taking?
Titans.
All right. Moving on. The next game, the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Denver Broncos. Raiders versus the return of Sean Payton. He came out of retirement.
Really? He was in retirement?
Yeah, he retired. He got out of saying 1 or 2 seasons. I don't know. And then got paid $100 million for a month. And now he's back.
So annoying. Oh my God. Stay in retirement. You committed to something. Stay with it.
Hey, this game is on the road. But have I ever told you my theory about why the Las Vegas Raiders will never be any good?
No.
Okay, so get this. So, like we know we've known pro athletes. We've known guys who play especially professional football. We know what their personal and social lives are like and how they are constantly dealing with, hey, my cousin Donnie's in town for the weekend. Everybody's always coming to a game, and especially if you go on the road. So imagine you play for the Las Vegas Raiders. Everybody you have ever known is going to come to every single home game. Every player on that team the night before a game is going to be at a club with his boys from back home because it's the weekend they decided to come. That town is going to kill that team's chances of actually playing well. Because
there's just too much to do.
Right. They're going to Okay, so Raiders are on the road and they're playing the Broncos in Mile High Stadium. Thin oxygen. Who do you
All
like?
right, then I'm going to go with the Raiders. Oh, thin oxygen. I'm still going with the Raiders, though, because they finally got to bust out of that town. And then they're going to be looking for something to do, and it'll be riding horses.
Because there's nothing to do in Vegas?
Yeah. No, there's a lot to do in Vegas. Right. So they've escaped that to go to a place where there's not as much to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the mountains. So who do you like here?
Yeah, I have to go with the Raiders.
So a Raider is a pirate. So this is a pirate versus a crazy horse, a horse that's just lost its mind.
Right.
You can't fix it. He's just, so you're going with pirate's just going to stab it, right?
Yeah, they can bring weaponry.
Yeah. Pirates have weapons. And that's just a horse that's bucking. And so you can run up to it and just stab it. You'll be fine. All right. There you go. I agree. Well, hey, life is tough. That's
especially if you're battling a Raider.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, here we go. Next game. Let's talk about the NFC defending champion Philadelphia Eagles taking on the once great, but now just kind of sad if you ask me, New England Patriots.
Ooh.
Kelly and Eagles.
They're not good anymore?
Well, we don't know. That's the thing. You know what? That's the thing about the Patriots. There have
Yeah.
been many times over the past 25 years where we've said they're not good anymore. And then they rattle off a couple Super Bowls. So we don't know. Couple of down seasons, we'll see. But
Yeah. As much as it pains me.
Two symbols of America here. You got the eagle and a patriot.
I know.
Could a patriot kill an eagle?
I would hope not. And I would think no, but those Patriots don't seem to go by the rules. So I don't know that they would recognize the fact that they'd be killing another, what would it be? Mascot for the country?
Symbol of what they're fighting for.
Yeah, exactly.
They believe in. I don't believe a patriot could kill an eagle. Thus, I think an eagle would.
Those Patriots don't care. They don't. They deflate balls. They cheat. Okay. They pay people things. No.
All right. Who you like?
I go with the Eagles.
They
fly above.
There you go. Go with the Eagles. See, I think an eagle. I think the Patriot will be like, but sir, I can't shoot at the winged creature. I think he's going to be like that, and then the bird's going to land on its face with those talons and just carve its face out and fly off. I
know.
There's going to be a little bit of apprehension on the part of the Patriot to pull that trigger on that eagle. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
How about this one? How about the ram? Oh, this is another weird one where you got a bird versus an animal that it should have absolutely no contact with, but it's a ram at a Seahawk. So it's a ram falling through the air because a Seahawk lives in the sky, right?
Yeah. God, I shouldn't say this because my son's flag football team was the Seahawks, but I don't like the Seahawks. But the Rams can't fly. They do the exact opposite. They put their heads down and ram into things.
Like certainly Seahawks spend a lot of time in the air overseas, but they don't. They live on like a tree branch, right? They don't. You can't. That's not fair to put the ram in the sky. I don't think
the Seahawks live by random Cheetos on a beach where I live. That's where you find them.
Yeah, how about that? Just a ram walking around at the shoreline, and there's a Seahawk there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks though, because it's really hard to. It's hard to walk on the beach, especially when you're that heavy, like a ram.
Okay.
Your paws are going to get stuck.
That makes no sense, and I love it. All right, here we go. The Fins at the Chargers. Miami Dolphins, they're going to be down there in Los Angeles taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Who you got, Kelly?
I'm sorry, what was the first team? Chargers versus?
Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Chargers. It's a dolphin versus a big bolt of lightning.
Yeah, you have to go with the Chargers then, because the Dolphins are going to be in water. And I still don't understand what happens when lightning hits an ocean. Does that even happen? It's got to, right?
It must. I don't know.
I know it's
but
not
I'm pretty sure I know what would happen if lightning hit a dolphin. I'm pretty sure I know what would happen there.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the lightning bolt.
And, this has always been, as much as I love this segment, this has always been the flaw, because the Chargers should go undefeated because there isn't another mascot that we have deemed can withstand a bolt of lightning. Maybe a giant. Maybe
a giant.
Right? Maybe
but not like the that. Pirates.
Maybe the color brown.
Yeah, there you go.
That's an existential debate to have. Who would win? A lightning bolt or the color brown?
The color brown.
All right. So who you got? Fins Chargers. You're going with
Chargers.
Right? There you go. Okay. All right. Here's one. This is my most important game of the week. Now we're into the national games. This is Saturday's, what do they call it? NFL game of the week. It is the 3:00 start. The Green Bay Kelly, they tell us it's the oldest rivalry in football. The Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears.
I got to go with the Bears, and not just because I want to.
I know.
But they're just guys that work in a plant.
Well, let's establish the history of the Green Bay Packers. Okay, this is like they got trees up there, and they got mills. And in these mills, they turned the trees into paper. They made all kinds of toilet paper. The toilet paper Packers is what they made. Yeah. Scott Tissue is up there, paper towels. So they're just dudes. They're just dudes who live in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. Yes. And let me tell you, they have bears in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and none of them dudes want to be alone with a bear in the Northwoods of Wisconsin.
No, definitely not. You got to go with the bear.
There you go.
Plus, the Packers, and then the trees into paper, and bears, don't they climb trees? I don't know.
They're just dudes. And
yeah, they dominate that.
And unlike the Steelers, who are just dudes, but we know steel workers are badass, these are just like, a guy your mom dated after she divorced your dad. It's just like union guys.
They load up the reams.
Yeah, All right, here we go. Now, the Sunday night game. Here's another big one, a big exciting one. Your Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York G-Men, the New York Football Giants. Kelly, who you got, the Cowboys or the Giants?
I imagine the Cowboys as, what is that folk tale about, all those guys try to pin down the giant?
Gulliver.
Yes. I imagine the Giant as Gulliver and the Cowboys as those guys that try to pin it down. And Gulliver wins. Yeah. So I got to go with the Giants.
See, but this is where we get into trouble. Because, maybe 11 Cowboys could take on one Giant. But one Cowboy and one Giant? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, that can't happen. No.
And if you go, no, it's 11 Cowboys. And then you're like, okay, then it's 11 Giants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you've got to go with the Giant because even then, the Cowboys have guns. Okay, but it's a Giant. And how does the gun really hurt?
How effective? Like, we know what cowboy weapons are. They're the old-timey little, out of your gun. And then they're like, a shotgun. How much how big of a Giant are we talking? Like, is that a pea shooter to a Giant? I don't know.
Yeah. I would assume it's of significant size, considering that's what they've chosen to be called, the Giants and not the slightly tallers.
Look, folks, we're going to ponder this question all season long because there are 16 more weeks of New York Giant matchups. All right, so who are you going with, Cowboys or G-Men?
Giants.
The Giants. She goes with the Giants. Boy, you're making no friends. Making no friends with that.
I can't help it. Science is science.
Especially not among the core that are going to be watching this.
Well.
All right, here's the final game, the Monday night game, the last game of this first season, week 1 of the 2023 NFL season. The Buffalo Bills taking on the New York Football Jets. Kelly, who do you like?
It's got to be a Jet because people get sucked into airplane engines more often than we hear about. I was up late one night and I went deep delving into it. I think the last one actually happened at Love Field.
What are the Buffalo Bills, right? Like Buffalo, so is this Buffalo Bill Cody? What does he have to do with the city of Buffalo? Is it like stuff you get in the mail that bums you out?
Yeah. News box.
What are we talking about? What are these Bills? If it's just a bunch of guys named Bill, if it's one dude named Bill against a Jet, he's going to get sucked right up into that engine.
I feel like the Buffalo Bills are like cocky cowboys. They seem to think that they've got it going on, and they're, oh, look at me, Buffalo Bill, woo! They could do that trick with a gun around their finger and make it twirl around, and then.
All right, so who are we going with?
Yeah, we go with not the Bills.
Okay, not the Bills. Just go with the New York Football Jets. Oh, my goodness. That is incredible. Okay, that's going to conclude week 1 of Practical Picks. Kelly, let's recap very quickly. You went
is that where Aaron Rodgers went?
Yeah, New York.
The Jets?
The Jets.
Yeah. He's such a swell guy.
Kelly went with the Detroit Lions over the Chiefs. She went with the Bengals over the Browns. She went with the Ravens over the Texans. She went with the Vikings over the Buccaneers. She went with the... Who'd you go with, Panthers, Falcons? I don't remember.
I went... Oh.
All right, don't worry about it.
I went with Panthers because...
Okay.
I didn't like the Falcon.
And then Cardinals and Commanders. She went with the Commanders. The Jaguars and Colts. For some reason, she went with the horse. The horse is going to...
I just imagine it running free on a beach.
49ers, Steelers. Kelly chose the Union Steel Workers over the old Coots panning for gold. With the Titans and the Saints. I don't remember who you took here. Did you take the Giant or the Gun people? She went with the Titans. Raiders and the Broncos. She went with...
Raiders and the Broncos are the Raiders.
Pirates, they'll just stab the horse, right? Yeah, there we go. Eagles and Patriots. Kelly went with
Eagles.
The Eagles, because a Patriot can't kill an eagle. Rams at Seahawks. Kelly went with
I went with God, who did I go with?
I don't know. I checked out after Titan Saints.
I would say Seahawks. I hate them.
Seahawks. Finns and Chargers. Kelly went with the Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pack and Bears. Kelly went with
Bears.
Boys, Cowboys and the G-Men. Kelly went with
G-Men.
And Bills and Jets. Kelly went with
Jets.
Jets. There you are. All right. Book them, folks. All you degenerate gamblers.
Yeah.
That's how gambling is everywhere now. It's everywhere.
Is that what these places that used to be bars? There's one near me called the Alibi Bar, which cracks me up because I think a guy's alibi should never be a bar. That's usually what you need, an alibi that you weren't at the bar.
The Alibi was the name of the bar they hang out on, Shameless. So it's probably
maybe that was it.
Probably named after the Shameless bar.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it. I'm sure it was a great story, but we're going to wrap this up because we are perfectly at 30 minutes, which seems to be a wonderful amount of time. Wave bye-bye. We'll see you next week for week 2 of Kelly's Practical Picks. I'm Pugs Moran. She's Kelly Moore. See you next week. Bye, everybody.